Aaron Ramsey is going to make serious money. The Champions League is back with good news for Manchester United. Barcelona have agreed terms with a Luis Suarez replacement. There's the latest in the line of pundits turned managers. And of course, we have a roundup of the day's daily rumours. That and more coming up in the next few minutes as I'm your host, Matt Folick. You are the One Footballers, and this is the Daily News. First up, and Aaron Ramsey has officially agreed to join Juventus at the end of the season on a free transfer, putting pen to paper on a deal worth almost £400,000 a week. Now, this may not be the absolute accurate figure, as a range has been given from about 340 to 400. However, should he be on that kind of money, he will be the highest paid British player of all time. And for me, this is absolutely ridiculous. It would see him earn about 1.6 million per month, which is just over the amount that Kylian Mbappe earns. And Kylian Mbappe could go on to be one of the greatest strikers to have ever played the game, whereas Aaron Ramsey is a decent midfielder. Now, I'll give you that he's a good player, don't get me wrong, but what exactly is his game? I want to hear from you Arsenal fans and Juventus fans as well about why you're letting him go, should you be letting him go, and Juve fans, should you really be paying that much for someone who could potentially warm the bench? I say warm the bench because he's not playing every game for Arsenal. So if he doesn't play every game for Arsenal, how is he going to play every single game for Juventus? And also, on the topic of what he actually does, he's definitely not a goal scorer because his 11 years in the Premier League have provided an average of 3 goals per season. And as for the assists, well, he's doing better than that, with just over 4 assists per season. So what exactly does Aaron Ramsey bring? You guys let me know. As mentioned before, I think he's a very good player, but definitely not £400,000 a week kind of player. Away from a bit of transfer news though, and to tonight, where finally, after 2 months away from our screens, the Champions League is back. Now, because it's the last 16 stage and there are still 16 teams, obviously, left in the competition, the next round of matches will be played over this week and next. But as for tonight's games, Roma face off with Porto, and in the evening's big match, Manchester United host PSG. Now, this would normally be quite troubling news for Manchester United, as PSG have a wealth of attacking stars and could put a number of goals past anybody. However, in the last few weeks, Manchester United are a different one to that under Jose Mourinho. Since Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's come in, they've won 10 out of 11 games, with the other one being a draw. And as for the team they're facing tonight, well, PSG are without Neymar and without Edinson Cavani, as the latter was injured on the weekend, and Neymar's been out for a few weeks after rolling his ankle against Strasbourg. This means that Eric Maxim Choupo-Moting, the striker who last season was relegated from the Premier League with Stoke, could be starting in the Champions League for PSG in the round of 16 knockout. This is a bit of a career turnaround for him, but I don't really see him doing much, so Manchester United can probably focus on getting their attacking players on the ball without having to worry too much about the defending part. Next up, and to Barcelona, who after inexplicably signing Kevin Prince Boateng despite his aging years, have gone ahead and agreed personal terms with Luka Jovic for him to join them in the summer. The youngster is on loan at Frankfurt from Benfica and has scored 14 goals this season in the Bundesliga, taking him to the top of the goal scoring chart. So you could see why Barcelona and a few other clubs are interested in him. However, the best bit about this deal is that Frankfurt are making all the money themselves. Basically, there's a clause in their loan agreement with Benfica that they can sign Jovic for 8 million. They'll do that in the summer and then a few weeks later ship him off to Barcelona, taking the supposed £45 million transfer fee and pocket it all for themselves. This looks pretty bad on Benfica. However, to their credit, they had no idea that Jovic, in the space of half a season or a year, would turn into a top striker, the kind that Barcelona would pay 45 million for. As for whether or not he's actually a replacement for Luis Suarez, well, don't be fooled just yet. The Uruguayan is still only just 32 years of age and has got 15 goals in La Liga this season, so Jovic won't be replacing him in the starting 11 just yet. However, in the next few years, you can expect to see him brought into the starting 11 slowly but surely to eventually take over from Luis Suarez. But what do you guys think? Barcelona fans, let me know. Is this going to be a good signing for the future, or will he end up being another flop? But away from all the big transfer news and the Champions League games tonight, as Paul Scholes, the legendary Manchester United midfielder, is back in management. He is taking charge tonight of Oldham Athletic for the first time, all the way down in the midst of League 2 in 14th position as they host the mighty Yeovil. Now, for those of you who don't quite know much about the lower reaches of English football, Oldham aren't exactly the biggest club, but for Paul Scholes, it's a big deal for him as it shows his first steps into football management. However, after being a pundit for a few years in the studio, sitting nice and comfortably, talking about how managers could do this and do that, he needs to go out and prove it now, which is something that other pundits just have not done. He'll be hoping to avoid the repeat of Gary Neville's job at Valencia and also Thierry Henry's recent ill-fated spell at Monaco. But what do you guys think? Will Scholes go on to be a great manager? If he's going to produce the sort of managerial career that lives up to his playing career, well, he'll be a damn good one indeed, seeing as he won absolutely everything there is to win with Manchester United. And lastly but not least, we have a roundup of the day's transfer news and rumours involving one manager as well. That is Maurizio Sarri. Apparently he's got a fortnight to save his job at Chelsea. Elsewhere, West Ham made a £35 million bid for Duvan Zapata, the on-loan Atalanta forward who's been banging in the goals, and will continue to monitor his progress throughout the rest of the season. This also goes for PSG, who are keeping an eye on Watford midfielder Abdoulaye Doucouré, and every single big club in Europe will be watching the Ajax-Real Madrid Champions League tie to focus on central defender Matthijs de Ligt, who's been linked with a move away from the club. So that's all from me for today. Make sure you smash that like button and let me know in the comment section all of your thoughts on today's daily news. Will Jovic be a good replacement for Suarez? Is Aaron Ramsey really worth all that money? And can Scholesy do the business in the dugout? Of course, you can also click here to check out all of the other videos that we've got going on Onefootball. But until next time, I will see you guys later.